TCI Channel 63 presents the TCI Sports High School Basketball Game of the Week.
Tonight from Troy High School, it's the Ferndale Eagles taking on the Troy Colts. Hello again, everyone. Dave Zorin along with Joe Abramson here at Troy High School, where tonight it's the battle for the SMA title.
Yeah, basically it is Troy 10-1 in the conference. That one loss, though, coming to Ferndale. Ferndale's 9-2. If they can pull the win off, they'll both be at 10-2, but with the two victories, obviously Ferndale wins the tiebreaker. So basically the SMA title is on the line tonight. Troy coming in with both of its starting guards, Gary Freilich and Greg Feldkamp, out with the flu. They'll probably play a little bit, but they're not going to start, and it'll be a different team with a different backcourt.
Okay, we saw a little bit of a sloppy game the last time these two teams met. We'll be back with a tip-off right after these messages. Stay with us.
Oakland Press Perspective with Neil Monroe is an informative talk show that discusses issues often overlooked by broadcast stations. Neil Monroe, the editor of the Oakland Press newspaper, will keep you abreast on hot topics, events, and issues taking place in Oakland County. So for news you can use, join Neil Monroe every week on the Oakland Press Perspective, Friday night at 8:30 on TCI 63.
The TCI Sports Game of the Week this week. It's the battle for the SMA title. And the Ferndale Eagles take on the Troy Colts here at Troy High School. The records for these teams, well, it tells the story. 9-2 for Ferndale in the conference, 11-6 overall. Troy 10-1 in the conference, 13-4 overall, and the one loss coming to the Ferndale Eagles.
That game we saw earlier in the year, and like we said, if they can tie for the league title, Ferndale will win it with the tiebreaker.
And this is what happened 1 month ago when the Troy Colts took on the Ferndale Eagles at Ferndale. Let's take a look. Smith pulls up, looks for a pass underneath Devay. Stevens there, up ahead to Watkins. Watkins making a nice move, and he gets it down. Colts need a quick bucket off the front of the rim. Dukes gets it back out. Feldkamp, a three-point shooter. Back out to the sophomore. Freilich from outside won't go. Rebound now. They're going to go for two.
Oh, my.
They get it, and he's going to go to the line.
Ferguson.
It was a tough battle and a sloppy game, and the Ferndale Eagles came out on top. Two of those players we saw for Troy won't be starting tonight. Feldkamp and from outside, Freilich as well.
Yeah, the two guards, they may play some, but the coaches are concerned about their stamina. They haven't practiced in the last couple of days. Feldkamp hasn't even been in school the last couple of days. And with the weather and everything, that can have an effect on them.
For Ferndale, Phillips, Hermes, Stevens, Hoppy, and Jones. For Troy, Kyle Rance, the sophomore, will be starting at guard. Aaron Smith, Brian Dukes, David Cheek, and Kevin Krupitzer in there for the Troy Colts. Those are your starting lineups. Head coach Jim Clary for the Troy Colts. And on the other side, it'll be Coach McLean. McNeil. Don McNeil out there. I'm reading the wrong thing here.
One of the things, last game ended up being, I think, a 7-point difference, but the fact is that it was basically a 1-point game for the final 30 seconds. And a couple of easy layups and fouls and such made it wider margin than it should have been. The game started off real low scoring in the first quarter. We thought it would be a scoring binge, and the final 3 quarters were, but the first quarter was slow. Jarrett Stevens is the main man to go to for Ferndale. I do remember the last time, the first 2 possessions, they got the ball down low to him, and he got easy layups, and they never looked at that play again until the third quarter. And it seems if they can't stop it, go to it till they learn how to stop it.
And we are underway here at Troy High School. The Troy Colts battling the Ferndale Eagles for the SMA title. And the Troy Colts with the first turnover of the game as David Cheek loses it.
A little bit of nerves there, just wasn't able to control the ball.
Kyle Rance, number 41 in there, the sophomore. Ferndale, Ben Jones inside, off the glass high. It won't go, but it went off out of bounds off of Krupitzer.
And Kyle Kyle Rance, we should point out, wasn't even on the roster last time we did a Troy Ferndale game. He got pulled up from the JV at some point during the season.
Inside, Dwayne Jones puts it up. Won't go. Stevens battling under there and finally tips it in.
Well, he's 6'6", and he's not just the tallest guy on the floor, he's the strongest guy on the floor, and keep at it like he did, he's going to get the basket eventually.
Aaron Smith and Krupitzer up top, or rather Kyle Rance up top. Here's Krupitzer from way outside. Three. Kevin Krupitzer for three, and he was way outside, Joe.
Yep, and Ferndale came back in with a fast break off of a make. Interesting thing with Krupitzer's three is last game, that was the one problem they had. They could hit 15-foot jump shots, but they couldn't hit three-pointers.
Hoppy with the rebound. And here come the Eagles again, quickly back. Bounce pass, a little tough, and I think Hermes didn't know what he wanted to do with it.
Well, he tried to force it into Jones, and 31, David Cheek let him off the hook with a foul. You see right here, he tries to penetrate, no look it underneath the Jones, and actually I think the pass was there, probably was a good call with that foul.
Pass just didn't have that touch. It was a little hard underneath for Jones to handle.
He might have caught it though without the foul.
Yeah.
I think it looked like it was in his hands.
Yeah.
Whatever, they've got the ball back and they've got the sophomore point guard running the show.
You saw Rashad Phillips do a great job last game. Here's Stevens for three. Off the rim, rebound Cheek. And he'll give it off to Aaron Smith, who pushes it up court quickly to Dukes. Dukes, 2 points, no. Rebound strong by Dwayne Jones, and the Eagles on the running attack. And now Phillips will back off a little bit, but he's pressured in the corner. Hermes now double teamed, has nowhere to go, and a foul call on Hermes.
Through the elbow, trying to get rid of the ball. Thought the ref might just call a 5-second violation because it was real close to that. And Hermes couldn't find the open man. As it is, that's his first foul. And he's a guy who didn't start the first time we saw them, but played a key role coming off the bench and actually played all the crucial minutes.
Eagles press, and the Troy Colts finally get it across half court. Cheek out of bounds. That's the second time he has turned the ball over on the sideline.
Yeah, right in front of the Ferndale bench both times.
And starting out a little sloppy here in the early going. 3-2, the Troy Colts up by one.
Got to see if Ferndale try to get Jarrett Stevens the ball down low. I don't think they want him shooting those three-pointers like he did the last about 3 possessions ago, but Hoppy traveled with the ball before they could do anything that time.
And it'll be Kyle Rance to inbound to Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith getting a start in there. As we mentioned, Feldkamp and Freilich not starting due to illness. Smith grabbed it that time, and luckily for the Colts. Here's Cheek for 3 points, no. Rance puts it back out. Aaron Smith couldn't hit. And the Troy Colts get it out of bounds.
And Cheek went over Stevens' back and tipped the ball, and fortunately for him, it bounced off of Hermes, and Troy was able to maintain possession.
Brian Dukes back out up top for Aaron Smith, and he will set up the play for the Colts. For 3 points from outside. Krupitzer couldn't hit. Stevens with the rebound. And now Hermes over to Phillips. This little guy put some points on the board last game in the late going, which really helped the Ferndale cause. Could have been anybody's game at the end there, but he really helped. Dwayne Jones couldn't hit. And the ball goes out of bounds. Ferndale ball still.
Another thing that Phillips does is create scoring opportunities for other players. And, well, we're going to see what kind of shape Feldkamp and Freilich are in. They just came in. And Coach Clary is worried about how long they can stay in at any one time.
So the young backcourt goes out.
Now, what you saw just there, Sean Hoppy inbounded the ball to Stevens, who tapped it back to him, but Hoppy hadn't stepped in bounds yet. So when he touched the ball, he was on the baseline. Another turnover.
Colts bring it down quickly, and Cheek hits. David Cheek.
And we're off that same low-scoring first quarter that we saw last time. That was a good play, but again, that was created because of a turnover on the other end.
Hermes, baseline, couldn't get it off the glass and in. And Krupitzer with the rebound.
That's about 2 times now, 3 times they've missed easy layups. Those things right now, it's only the first quarter, but when it gets close at the end, you start looking back at those as to what could we have done to have blown these guys out one way or the other.
Feldkamp to set it up over to Freilich. Those are the two ailing Troy Colts who did not get a chance to start because of their illness. Grupitzer trying to drive. Ball was kicked in there. No call. Phillips to Stevens. No, couldn't get it down. Dukes was in there getting in the way.
Great defense by Dukes, following a great defensive play by Stevens when he was able to force the steal. And basically now we've seen 3 possessions, 3 great defensive plays. Dukes on the one end preventing Stevens from the dunk, and now Dwayne Jones taking the charge on Feldkamp. And what you've seen here isn't so much sloppy as it is real good defense. You know, early on we have seen missed layups on both sides, but I think both teams right now are picking up the defense, and there is the intensity of a championship game.
Stevens all by himself down here. Now we'll slow it up. Hermes looks for help. He'll probably look for help from Phillips, the little guy over on the right side. And he goes right down the middle to Stevens, who puts it down.
That's where you want to get the ball to him. In the key, he's able to make the quick turnaround jump shot.
Cheek for 2.
Cheek looked like he feels it. He didn't think about passing that. He pulled up, and after he let go of it, he was just, he knew it was in. He was like, he wants the ball back right now.
Here's Phillips down across to Jones, who throws it over to Hoppy and almost away from Hoppy. Phillips. Hermes loses it. Hermes looking up court quickly, lost that ball as just on a.
We've seen both teams do that, you know, that kind of look before they have it, and that's something you always hear about football players doing that, you know, start running before you catch the pass, and same thing right there.
Don McNeil looking on. His team trailing 7-4. Cheek back out. Grupitzer now. Feldkamp on the baseline. Tough shot, and he made it.
Look healthy there. Now they're going to put a little trap on, and it's not what they want. They end up with the ball in Phillips' hands, and that's
Phillips.
Yeah.
Rashad Phillips from about the free throw line hung up in the air and put it down easily.
That's the gamble you take with a press. You know, you try to create the turnover, but if you don't, you're going to give the opponent a numbers advantage.
And another turnover. The Troy Colts having problems with turnovers. Aaron Smith checks back in, and Feldkamp will go out. Smith is a senior.
Yeah, I think Feldkamp, of the two, him and Freilich, is the one who's probably ailing a little more. He missed a couple of days of school and hasn't practiced or anything. The coaches are real concerned about just, you know, how much.
Sean Hoppy misses it. Cheek a call for the foul from behind.
Hoppy's trying to argue that there ought to be a goaltending call too. I don't think so, but great defensive play. Even though it's a foul, look at Cheek get way up in the air, pin that to the glass. That's not goaltending. That's the right call. He fouled him. He's going to the line. But that's great hustle. And as a coach, you don't mind him committing that foul. That's great.
Now he's got to earn it from the free throw line.
And that even if he makes both, he's going to think about that next time he's got a layup.
Sean Hoppy makes his first. Checking back in is Kyle Rance, and also now a first-time substitution, Kaminskis. Andy Kaminskis comes in, and going out is Cheek.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of substitution going for Troy today.
Cheek and Dukes both out. There's Rance with the rebound. Rance to help out Smith now, and sees his man open, but Jarrett Stevens gets the big hand up and knocks it out of bounds.
And Jarrett Stevens showing some quickness up there with the defense. That's something he's going to have to do the rest of this year and next year as far as impressing college coaches, because at 6'6", he's not going to play power forward in college unless he grows a little bit. He's going to have to show some quickness and a little bit of an outside game. And part of the quickness goes on the defensive end.
Grupitzer can't get it over Hoppy. Now gets it back. In the corner, Smith. Back out, Freilich. Kaminskis in. And a foul on Ferndale.
And Dwayne Jones trying to take his second charge of the day. Didn't get the call that time.
Take a look as Grupitzer drives.
There you see them taking the ball around. Now he's looking for the open man. Hits him inside, and he is not at position. That's a good call. That'll get Grupitzer to the line for 2. That was similar, you know, before when Jones took the charge on Feldkamp, he just sat there and waited in the lane on the fast break. There was more of a half-court offense. It's real hard to take a charge in that situation.
Krupitzer with a three-pointer so far, now adds a free throw to it and adds to the Troy lead, 9-7. And we see Jim Clary looking on. Krupitzer makes them both. And a correction on the scoreboard, 11-7.
There's that trap again, and once again, they're going to have a numbers advantage.
Sean Hoppe makes it count, and he'll go to the line. The foul on the youngster, Kyle Rance.
Yeah, this time Hoppe's able to get the bucket and the foul. Once again, you know, when you trap, you're going to leave them with an advantage, and there he's able to beat him off the dribble, draw the foul, and get the shot to go. And even if, well, with the foul, it wouldn't have mattered, but Jarrett Stevens was there for the follow-up had they not committed a foul.
Andre Watkins checking in. Watkins, you saw him in the replay of last month's game, getting a fast break pass from Stevens. Hoppe hits and completes the three-point play, and it's a one-point game. Rance over to Krupitzer. Krupitzer up court, and he's got an open Kaminskis who hits.
Yeah, and the press isn't working for either team. All you do when you press here is give the opponent a layup.
13-10 the score. You see the clock, and that's left here in the first quarter. Stevens, strong shot, just a little bit off, though. Ball knocked away by Ferndale, and the Troy Colts come up with it, now kicked out of bounds by Watkins.
And they're saying, and we can't tell, we're on the other side of the floor, but they're saying that Aaron Smith dribbled it off his own foot. The officials were right there, so I'm guessing that's the right call.
You know, I saw it that way, too. I saw it go off of the foot of Watkins.
Yeah, it's just the way Watkins reacted. It looks like he was convinced that it didn't touch him, but that's part of basketball, too.
Aaron Smith now for the Colts. Winding down, clock at about 55 seconds. The shot is good. Kyle Rance. It's good to get the sophomore on the board for the Colts, and that might help his confidence. There you see the score. Colts up by 5. Hermes from outside. No. Rebound strong by Rance and goes right back to the Ferndale Eagles. Sean Hoppe off the glass for another 2, and Hoppe now with 6 points, leading the Eagles.
I was going to say, Sean Hoppe's playing tremendous in this first quarter.
And the Colts looking for the last shot here, 23 and counting down now. And the ball almost lost by the Colts, but they pick it up. Kyle Rance almost lost that one.
You know, it's amazing that guys wouldn't be looking when they're on offense. That's what's been happening.
Aaron Smith had an easy layup, and he missed that opportunity. And now a foul.
I think it's a foul away from the rebounder. Rance got the rebound, and I think that Kaminskis committed the foul, pushing. I don't know if he pushed Hermes or.
Let's see if we can see it here.
Stevens out, but.
Here's Phillips, takes the shot, and we'll watch underneath if we can see.
Yeah, and they just did call the foul on Kaminskis, and you'll see there, Kaminskis pushed Stevens off, and that allowed Rance to get the rebound. The ref was right there to call it.
On the lower left of your screen, there was a little push there. In there now, number 22, Jim Schaffner.
They got to get a shot off quick.
Hermes to Phillips. Phillips from way outside, no. And that'll do it here in the first quarter at Troy High School. And the Troy Colts, the hometown Colts, leading by 3, 15-12. And we will start the second quarter. And Don McNeil doesn't look too happy looking down there.
Well, I mean, his team's supposed to win this game, according to all the experts.
And let's see if we can go down to Don McNeil's huddle.
Right now we have Andre Shaft. Shaft, get up here. Dre, Amar, Rashad, Jarrett. Okay, we're putting it in there and they keeping 2 people on him. We're not getting it thrown down, or we ain't getting anybody on the back door. Put the ball off to the wing, let the man come across to the block and see how they're gonna play it. We haven't ran it once yet. We keep putting it here, and 2 people are still on him. So send it there. Make one come on. Let's see what we got off of it. Make that zone move. Let's go. Defensively, we got to do a better job of denying that man a pick. When he come off that backside pick, the defender, you got to head. Let him off. Let's go.
And Don McNeil with some words of wisdom there for his Eagles.
Yeah, I don't think he's real happy with the defense. Even, you gave up 15 points in the first quarter to a team that wasn't really in the flow offensively. And I think Troy's got to be ecstatic. The simple fact that they have any lead at all, well, all the experts pretty much picking Ferndale to win this, especially with the starting backcourt ailing. And they're doing a good job. And now they've got Feldkamp back in the game. He hit a jump shot and then came right out, and that's probably how he's going to have to play, 2 minutes and then go sit. But if he can contribute like he did, it's going to help them out tremendously.
Hermes passing inside. I don't know
Great
how
block.
Eagle got it.
Well, Kaminskas blocked the shot after Watkins picked it up.
Nice move by Krupitzer to even get that shot off as he hung in the air a little bit, and now a whistle underneath.
Feldkamp just knocked the ball out of bounds after Schaffner got the rebound. But right now, the defensive end for both teams are tremendous. You're going to see the loose ball come right into Watkins' hands, and there's Kaminskas to swat it away.
And now the Eagles with a chance to pull it within one or tie it up. Let's see if they go for... Phillips wants the three way on the far side. Hermes slows it down. Schaffner looking for something inside. The Troy Colts doing a good job of shutting that off. Phillips, he can shoot from outside, but they get on him right away. Hermes now driving, finds the open Stevens. No, Stevens with the tip in.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Well, they gave that basket to Watkins.
They gave it to Watkins.
Well, they both jumped at it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
maybe they
they're
had a better
keeping
angle.
Stevens out, and then
From outside, Dukes couldn't hit.
Let's see if on offense they do the same thing. Stevens is floating around the three-point zone. They're not able to really guard him out there, and it's harder to box him out, so he just comes in and gets the offensive rebound afterwards. Now Phillips tries to force something there, and it's called for the travel, and doesn't look too happy about it. But
he wanted to put it up and didn't see anything there, took an extra step.
And now Cheek's going to come back into the game for Troy, and he was in a little bit of a zone for a couple of minutes in the first quarter. See if he can get back into it now.
Freilich goes out as Cheek comes back in. Or excuse me, that wasn't Freilich, Kaminskas, number 42. Freilich now with the ball, trying to get it rather. And here's Feldkamp driving all the way. Easy two.
Yeah, you had a 4-on-1 break. That's usually going to net a basket for you.
Hermes to Phillips. Looking baseline, Schaffner back to Stevens, and Stevens took a hesitation there.
That was a good call. Once again, they're not posting him up down low. They're keeping him on the outside, hoping that he's either going to drive and get a hoop, or well, right there he shuffled, and I think he knows it too. But if he doesn't drive and get the hoop, if someone else takes the shot and he comes in for the offensive rebound from outside, you just, unless you happen to luck out and have good position, you're not going to box him out.
Feldkamp trying to set something up, being guarded closely by Hermes. And now Phillips comes over with a steal, and Krupitzer trying to get it right back. Ball goes off of Krupitzer.
And
Phillips caused that one.
He's so quick.
Let's take a look. Phillips will come from the left side and cause the steal.
Feldkamp's concentrating on Hermes, who's giving him a tough time defensively right there. Now Phillips comes from out of nowhere and makes the steal.
And at the right time, too, when Feldkamp was turning that way toward him. Phillips for three. It's good. Rashad Phillips with his 5th point of the night.
And he's been looking to get that shot off the last couple of times down the floor. He finally got open that time, and now we've got a tie game.
All tied up at 17. David Cheek finds the open man, no basket traveling.
Well, that makes up for the travel that they didn't call on Cheek. Cheek drove to the lane and slipped a little bit. They didn't call that. He dished it inside to Freilich, and he traveled as well, and the ref called that one.
So the Colts attempt to break the tie doesn't work, and here come the Eagles now, the chance to take the lead. Watkins, no. Watkins with a rebound. Off the glass, no. Rebound, Cheek.
Yeah, I think Duke's got a hand on that first shot that Watkins missed. Yeah, I think Freilich just got away with an over in the back.
Yeah.
His foot went over the midcourt line. We're sitting right here.
Colts get it back.
Yeah, Jared Stevens isn't going to let that shot go. Here you see Krupitzer come underneath. No way.
Ball just went out of bounds off the Colts. And the Eagles will bring it down court now. 4:44 left in the second quarter.
Well, in the first meeting, it was the first quarter that had little scoring in it. And I guess it's the second quarter. So if these teams meet in the playoffs, it'll be the third quarter, it'll be the lowest quarter.
They'll alternate.
Yeah.
Here's Hermes. He's got an open lane to the hoop. No. Rebound taken by Freilich.
Dukes is doing a great job. Statistically, he probably doesn't have a lot of rebounds, and you don't know whether they're crediting him with these block shots. But if he's not slapping them, he's making them adjust their shots, and he's creating a problem inside for the Eagles.
Phillips has got Smith way out up top. Krupitzer now for three. No. Looks for help. Got Cheek up top. Cheek for three. No. Rebound underneath. Dukes.
Yes.
And ball goes out of bounds. It'll be
Troy's
Colts ball.
Yeah, well, Stevens once again with the block shot and blocked it right into Watkins' hands, but he was standing out of bounds. Nothing you can do about that. Great defensive play by Stevens. 2 times in a row now we've seen him make a key block shot.
Dwayne Jones checks in for the Eagles and Kyle Rance for the Colts.
And you just saw Freilich breathing real heavy on the bench.
Foul underneath, and it looks like on Rance. Rance comes in right away, commits a foul.
Yeah, you come in a little bit excited and everything, and that stuff happens. And sophomores especially get a little excited. But they're going to call it
on
Krupitzer.
They'll call it on Krupitzer.
All I have to do is look over at the bench. Whenever Freilich or Feldkamp are sitting, they just keep making trips back and getting more cups of water, just trying to keep the fluids in them. You can tell that the weather is definitely affecting them.
Schaffner trying to get it back out up top, almost threw it away. Phillips on Smith, way out up top. Hermes almost gets it knocked away by Cheek. Try to go to Jones. And now Phillips. On the far side, guarded by Smith. Schaffner needs help. He's in trouble, and he loses it.
Yeah, I tell you, they keep looking now. They want to post Jarrett Stevens up, and Rance is giving Dukes great weak side help, and he's double teamed, and there's just no way to get the ball inside there.
Still tied. We have not seen a score for, I'd say, over a minute of play here.
Yeah, it's just a lot of defense and a lot of rebounding.
Cheek trying to drive. Nothing there. Back out to Krupitzer. Krupitzer takes a step in, loses it. Kyle Rance cross court. Open is Smith. Smith brings it back out now, and they'll be set.
Krupitzer might have taken 2 steps.
Yeah. David Cheek in three-point range. No. Rance for three, or two rather. Kyle Rance set up in two-point range and hits.
And that first, like you just mentioned, first basket we've seen in who knows how long.
Now 4:44.
He's got an open man if he sees him, and he doesn't. Dukes with a great steal, and he had Krupitzer open, but decided to hold it up.
Yeah, we didn't see a basket for 2 minutes there. About 4:44 was the last one before that. It was 2:44 when they hit that one. So 2 minutes without a basket now. Maybe heading for another dry spell. Let's see. Krupitzer back out up top.
The defenses on both teams are making the opponents earn not just every basket, every shot that they get.
Yeah, I was just going to say. Look at this. David Cheek with a three-pointer and a man in his face, and I think the guy even hit the ball a little bit.
Yeah, Cheek he looks like he wants the ball. He just looks excited all the time.
Didn't even scream that time to upset Phillips' shot, but Phillips came right back with a three.
That's his second three-pointer of the game. It's still a 2-point game.
So they'll go with a streak of no buckets, and they come right back with throw some threes at you. Look at this. Jarrett Stevens
is going to get that foul. That's a good call. Not the kind of foul you want to commit, but he went for the steal. Good defensive play, and Dukes went to pick it up, and his momentum carried him into his body.
Into him, yeah. Let's take a look.
Right there, he makes the steal, and you didn't see there, but you can see Dukes falling down.
Yeah.
And that wasn't much of an acting job there. That's a hustle foul, and the coach won't get upset about it. One thing, we'd mentioned the last game that Jarrett Stevens, what we saw as a sophomore, would tend to get a foul like that and come back and commit another one and get himself in trouble. And against Troy the last time, he didn't do that. He'd commit a foul and he'd go another 2 quarters. I think he only committed 2 fouls the whole game. Showed a lot of maturity. And he's going to have to show that maturity again right now and not get a second foul before halftime.
Feldkamp, guarded by Phillips. Phillips stole the ball last time, and now he almost caused another one. Dukes.
Whoa.
And a foul from behind on Kaminskas.
Yeah, Hoppy made the steal from Dukes, and Kaminskas tried to swat at the ball and really couldn't help that. Hit his arm, and I think they're in the bonus situation now. Ferndale will be at the line.
Let's take a look here. Kaminskas just with the body
And you see him reach in. Well, he backed into him, really,
Yeah.
but it's a foul. You've got to call the foul on somebody.
So 1:22 left here in the first half. 22-20 the score as the Colts lead by 2. And Sean Hoppe, who's been successful 2 for 2 from the line, will get a chance now to add another 2. He's perfect from the line.
Looks real comfortable.
And he's got 7 points on the night. Checking in, Freilich, and going out is Kaminskis.
Freilich, we saw him breathing real heavy last time he went to the bench. There's only 1:22 left, so you put him in now, let him go all out, and he'll have 14, 15 minutes to rest up.
And he gets them both. Sean Hoppe ties it up with 1:22 left. And I've got a feeling this game's going to go down to the buzzer.
Yeah.
Inside
Well, he's got
Dukes.
Freilich open.
Freilich in the corner, no. Back out. Here's Feldkamp for 3. He's got it. Nothing but net.
For a guy that hasn't practiced, he's had a great game. And you consider the limited number of minutes he has.
7 points?
7. Yeah, I bet he hasn't played 7 minutes.
No.
I know he hasn't played 7 minutes. There's no way.
Here's Phillips, guarded by Feldkamp up top. Wants Hoppe to come out. Now gets him back in the corner. Hoppe. Dwayne Jones from the top of the key, trying to get it into Stevens. That looked like an alley-oop, but it looked like a...
Trying to post him up,
Yeah.
get him behind Dukes, and once again, Dukes is fronting him. Dukes is an inch taller, 6'7", but you'd figure Stevens would use his superior strength to get the ball as he's doing right now.
Yeah, Stevens, a little muscle in there, and it causes a foul as Kyle Rance picks it up.
And that's pretty much Jarrett Stevens' trademark, just using his size and his strength and getting inside. You see Dukes, he's tall, he's not anywhere near as big as Stevens. And there, Jarrett doesn't get the field goal, but he does get himself to the line. Like I said earlier, at 6'6", he's either going to have to grow a couple inches or he's going to have to develop some quickness for the next level, just because 6'6" guys don't play power forward at Division I college basketball. Of course, at his size, he could always try to play tight end. He'd be a dominant tight end.
Yeah, it was Dukes actually with the foul. I said Rance. Rance now gets it knocked away by Jones. Finds Dukes open in the corner. Freilich. Freilich now fakes and puts it up in the paint. No.
Well,
Jones with the rebound.
Same thing they had last time where they had Freilich getting open at the baseline.
Yeah.
Coach just tells him, hey, it's there. We've got a numbers advantage. That play's going to be there.
Eagles want the last shot at least to tie it here.
And they'll either try to post Jarrett Stevens up eventually or hit Phillips, who's wide open on the weak side for a three-pointer.
Hoppe couldn't do anything with it, and the Colts get it back with 10 seconds.
Yeah, well, Hoppe's looking for a foul, but when you get yourself stuck in the air and you try to create something, the ref's not going to give you the foul, and he's going over and arguing now, and not a good idea. The ref didn't look like, the ref was close to teeing him, I think.
Here's Feldkamp going coast to coast. He's got it.
And you know what? He went right behind Sean Hoppe when he did it.
At the buzzer. Phillips, not enough on it. And that'll end it here at halftime. 27-23. Don McNeil goes off. Jim Clary's happy. He's got a 4-point lead. Not much, but it's something to talk about at halftime.
We talk about those guys getting the fluids again, and there's Feldkamp doing that. Feldkamp, he saw Hoppe still talking to the ref for a second and then just drove right by him. Hoppe backed off. I don't know why he backed off to the left like that, but it gave him a wide open lane, and Stevens didn't want to go in and risk committing his foul. Now it's a 4-point lead for Troy.
So Greg Feldkamp takes it coast to coast on the Eagles and adds another 2. There you see him walking off with Coach Clary. They're up by 4, 27-23 at halftime. But as we saw in the first game a month ago, halftime scores don't mean a thing.
No.
And we'll be back with second half action right after this. Stay with us.
McDonald, because Pat and Bubba take you down on the farm on the latest edition of Roadshow Video. Watch as these two city slickers travel to a working dairy farm in Brown City, Michigan, and talk to the people that make it work. So, for the best in music videos, check out the farm edition of Roadshow Video. Saturday night at 9 on Channel 63. If you wish a video cassette of TCI Sports, the cost is $25. Send a check payable to TCI, along with your name, address, and the names of the teams that played in the game, to TCI Sports Videotapes, 4500 Delamere Boulevard, Royal Oak, Michigan, 48073. Remember to tell us which game you wish to receive. And thank you for watching TCI Sports.
The TCI Sports Game of the Week, halftime here at Troy High School. The Troy Colts lead by 4, 27-23 over the Ferndale Eagles. And some of the stats here at halftime before we get going here. The Troy Colts a little bit hotter than the Eagles.
Oh yeah, I mean the shooting speaks for itself. The only thing keeping Ferndale in it is the fact they've got a rebounding advantage and a free throw advantage, drawing some fouls. Turnovers dead even. Really, Troy in great shape, and only a 4-point lead and all, but you know, considering that they don't have their backcourt in there very much, now they're sitting with a lead. At least they know that they're capable of winning this game, and that's as big as anything.
And we are underway here in the second half. Shot is short by Dukes in the corner. Here comes Phillips, pushes it up quickly. And up for grabs, Dukes gets it. That was going for either Stevens or Jones.
Yeah, well, the first possession for each team this half resulted in poor decisions.
Yeah. And here Dukes loses it. Cheek comes up with it. Cheek driving. Good follow, no. Up for grabs, Dukes tips it in.
That's what we saw Jarrett Stevens doing in the first half a couple of times. Saw Cheek following a couple of shots, and there Dukes finally getting on the board. And like we said earlier, his stats aren't going to show it, but he's having a great game.
And his first 2 points. Dukes gets the 2 points. Now knocked away. Here come the Colts. Feldkamp up ahead. Krupitzer against Hoppy, and he draws a foul.
Draws a foul. Not an easy pass there that Feldkamp made right in front of us with 2 defenders. Didn't have but maybe a 1.5 feet of room to get that ball through, and he got it, and he got it to him in a catchable way. That's right after he caught it. You see Hoppy slap him on the arm as he was going to the hole, so he'll get 2 free throws.
Leading scorers, 8 points for Rashad Phillips at halftime, 8 for Sean Hoppy. And for the Troy Colts, Greg Feldkamp off the bench with 9. David Cheek had 7, and Krupitzer had 5.
And in the second half, Feldkamp and Freilich are starting, and probably feel a little bit better. And you think more they think about it. We're in this game. Okay, let's get it a big lead, and if we get real tired, we can sleep on Saturday.
It's just that competitive instinct. And here's Krupitzer hitting both.
All of a sudden, it's an 8-point lead, and Ferndale's probably going to look to Jarrett Stevens on this possession. When you get yourself a little bit of a hole, you got to go to your best guy, and there he is.
Stevens just out of his reach. Phillips there, though. Phillips hangs in there, puts it down. You got to like Rashad Phillips. He impressed us last game, and he's doing it again here.
Yeah, he's a tremendous player. He's the kind of guy that when you have a Jarrett Stevens, like we were just talking about, you always want to go to the main guy. Well, when they double team him or things just aren't working for him, you need a second guy, and Rashad Phillips has taken that role and gone with it.
Colts get it back as it goes off Stevens. The shot is short. Colts pick it up again. Krupitzer way out. 3, no. Cheek battling for it against Jones. Ball goes out of bounds.
Nope.
No, it stayed in. I don't know how that was called in.
I don't know, the ref was right there. I think people were out of bounds and the ball somehow stayed in, but whatever it is, Freilich got a layup.
Freilich got the 2. Ball goes out of bounds. Ferndale and the Troy Colts get it back again. Things are not bouncing Ferndale's way right now.
No, but a lot of it's their own fault, too. They're not playing.
Let's see if we can find out where this ball went. I think it went off Cheek here.
Let's see, Cheek touched it. Now Jones touches it.
It hit him.
Yeah, I mean,
out of bounds.
Both these guys are standing out of bounds. So if the ball touches one of them, probably the correct call is a jump ball, and you go with the possession arrow. But whatever, it was a no call and turned into a layup. And you didn't see either bench really yelling a whole lot, so I guess they just accept it.
Accept it now, but then when it comes down to a one-point game.
Yeah, of course, it worked in Troy's favor, and it was a lot closer to the Troy bench, and the Ferndale bench couldn't see what was going on, so that might be why they didn't argue too loud.
Hoppy into Stevens. Stevens battling for this one. No.
Fouls.
And they give it to Stevens. That could have been Hermes there on that one, too.
Yeah, that's Stevens just using his size.
No, Stevens rebound. No. Cheek in there.
Oh.
And Cheek called for a travel. I didn't see any room in there to travel.
Let's see here. Here's a missed shot, and you're going to see Cheek get inside, and as Stevens comes down with the ball, he took it right from him, and yeah, he traveled.
He did.
He traveled. Good call.
Took a little hop step there.
He might have known he traveled, which is why he went into the exaggerated hole.
Yeah. No basket for Watkins, and a foul, though, on number 24. Looks like it's going to be on Freilich.
Yeah, you don't get too much continuation at this level. And Ferndale will simply maintain possession. Now you see number 25 coming in for Troy. That's Aaron Smith. And Feldkamp going down to rest and going right to the water bucket again.
You're a good doctor, Joe.
Well, that's what they'll tell you. They'll say, drink a lot of fluids. These guys, you know.
Cheek keeps it in. Cheek for two. He's got it. Cheek, I don't know. You're right, Joe. I don't know why they're not going to him more often.
You just watch him walk back after every time he makes the shot. He looks ready.
Stevens looks inside. Watkins gets the roll.
Well, you bring the big guys out. Stevens came out, pulled the defense with him. Dukes wasn't anywhere to block the shot, and that got the easy layup.
Here's Freilich looking inside. Stevens knocks it away. Way up ahead to Phillips. Phillips one-on-one against Smith, and Smith is right there to stop him.
Good foul, though.
Didn't get the shot off.
Good foul. Don't give him the easy layup.
And it looks like Kyle Rance coming back in for the Colts. The foul was on Aaron Smith. Let's take a look.
Yeah, here you see Smith just not going to give him the easy shot. Good call. He knows he fouled him. Smart thing he did there, use both hands, never let him get the ball near the rim. There you see Freilich coming out now, joining Feldkamp on the bench.
And it's that starting backcourt in there again, Rance and Smith.
And you got to figure those two guys, Freilich and Feldkamp, sitting there, 4:34 left in the third quarter. If Troy can keep this at around a 5-point lead as it is now, probably won't see them again until the fourth quarter.
Rashad Phillips, the leading scorer right now for the Ferndale Eagles with 11 points and makes it 12. He's a sophomore and he's nothing but impressive.
Oh, he looked great.
Watch him control that court out there.
Well, we saw him last year as a freshman and he looked really good. And if you watch him, you hope for his sake that he grows a little bit, but he's really good.
Look at Grupitzer, in the feed for two. Grupitzer comes alive now. He's got 9.
And he had hit that three-pointer right at the beginning of the game. I think Stevens got away with the travel right there.
Dukes with the rebound. The Colts now pushing it up court quickly. Smith dishes off. Cheek, he's hot. This is short. Grupitzer can't tip it in. Watkins with the rebound.
That was one of those rare opportunities where you got an easy putback and Stevens was nowhere to be found and he just wasn't able to get the shot to go.
Phillips one-on-one over his man. A little long, though. Here comes Cheek. And Kyle Rance will give it off to Smith. 37-31. Colts up by 6. 3:35 left in the third quarter. Dukes baseline, in and out. Ball tipped away. Who's got it? Colts.
And Stevens tried to get control of it and just tipped it over Cheek's head and it went out of bounds. It's still his presence inside. He's always got a hand on the ball. Here you see Grupitzer looking underneath to Dukes. Gets the baseline jumper off. And it was Stevens who was there. And, well, you didn't see it. You see Hermes laying on the floor while we were showing that replay.
Hermes hit the floor hard.
He took a hard fall, and I can't tell if it's his arm. I mean, he looks like he's holding his arm, but that could be his head. You know, I think you probably heard that loud thud. That was Hermes hitting the ground.
The pass went halfway down the court, and Hermes was there trying to make the play. And he hit hard.
Wow. They got a foul on the board, 25, which would be Aaron Smith. I don't know if he ran into him or what. We weren't able to,
Aaron Smith was right.
We were watching the replay with everybody else, and
Yeah, he was in that area of where the pass was going.
And they're taking their time, though.
The two players collided. Hermes not getting up. Don't forget, next week it'll be these same Troy Colts taking on the Kimball Knights. Hermes gets up. Saturday, Wednesday at 7 p.m. It'll be right here on TCI 63. Hermes looks like
left elbow.
that elbow is
He's bleeding too, so he has to sit out anyway if they stop the game for him. But it's good to see him get up. Probably more of a shock than anything that kept him laying there for all that time. And hopefully he'll be back in a matter of minutes.
Schaffner comes in for Hermes. And we resume play now. Sean Hoppe looking baseline. Schaffner finds Stevens. Oh my!
Well, you know, you see the open lane, you know your team's flat. That'll wake them up.
Jarrett Stevens making an exclamation point there, and that could fire up these Eagles. Foul looks like it's coming on Watkins. No, going the other way on Cheek.
Yeah, Cheek went in for the offensive rebound, and he's going to get called for the foul. But I'll tell you, all that noise you hear, people are still reacting to Jarrett Stevens' dunk.
What an amazing bucket. And you saw it coming, too. Everybody just held their breath.
Did that in traffic. I'll tell you what's funny is the point he took off, you thought he might have leapt a little too soon, and he wasn't going to get there, and his momentum carried to the hole.
He was gliding.
Great play.
Hoppe back out to Schaffner inside now. Stevens finds Hoppe open. And a whistle underneath.
Yeah, Hoppe, I don't think he realized where he was when he shot there. He was a little too far underneath. But Stevens, now obviously everyone's aware of him. I think they might have forgot him for a second. Gets double teamed, brings the defense out, gets the pass down to Hoppe. He draws the foul. That's on, I believe on Rance.
On Rance.
That's his second. So Hoppe's at the line again.
So Rance and Smith both come out.
Well, Feldkamp and Freilich make it in before the end of the third quarter. But it is getting
left,
to where the way Hoppe's been shooting free throws, it'll probably be a 2-point game in a second. Let's take a look here. See Hoppe go underneath the Schaffner. He draws the double team, and there's nobody in the key, and Stevens knows it, takes off. Wow. That's your basic NBA style dunk there. And, you know, there aren't maybe 5, if that, many high school players who are going to get in his way and try to take a charge on that, so you know he's going to get the dunk. And even if you do get in his way, he'll still make it on you, and all you're going to do is give him a free throw on top of it. That's, more than just the 2 points, that woke everybody up. In Ferndale, suddenly it's a 2-point game where they were down 8 for a while.
Yeah, that put a little spark in them. And Hoppe made his 2 free throws. He's been perfect ever since he missed one. Here's Krupitzer.
Krupitzer's made a couple of huge shots in this quarter that are not easy shots to make. One going across the lane where he turned and jumped, and that time from the baseline.
Phillips for 3. Short.
Well, he had it right on target, just came up a little short with it.
Here's Krupitzer. No. Rebound. Feldkamp and taken away by Watkins. Up ahead, almost had it to Stevens. Dukes now puts it back in play, and Schaffner gets it.
Game's getting a little frantic now there once again. Krupitzer with a knockaway.
Stevens wanted to go baseline and held up.
Yeah, Dukes wasn't going to let him get in that time.
Yeah. Phillips said, let me handle it.
Yeah, let's everybody calm down a little bit here. Gee, everyone, you got to catch your breath.
Inside, Stevens back out now. Phillips, you got to like this little guy. He's really takes control out there.
Well, Stevens trying to post up on Dukes. Hasn't been able to do that yet tonight. Oh, my. And I think they call that on Stevens?
Yeah. Stevens with a foul in the paint while pushing off in there and away from the ball.
That's one of those things, he's trying to post up, giving a little bit of an elbow. Duke's giving it back, and the refs, after a while, you're going to make the call what happened there because he threw him out so far, and it was going to lead to an easy layup because Phillips came under. It was going to probably be a dunk, and once you get that kind of advantage, the foul has to be called.
Krupitzer baseline move, no, goes back out. Loses the ball now. Watkins looks for help.
Well, under a minute left in the quarter. I don't think either team's going to hold on to the ball for 45 seconds, so they'll get a shot off.
On Hoppy, that's short, rebound, knocked around, Dukes gets it. And now Freilich will give it over to Feldkamp. Feldkamp gets the ball off and a foul called on Watkins.
Yeah. I was just going for the ball and he knocked him down. Not a real bad foul. That slows up the offense.
Phillips has been a thorn in Feldkamp's side, and literally his side there that time.
Yeah, then he went off of, tripped over Watkins' leg. Yeah, Phillips, he's so small and he's quick, so he's low to the ground and can get the ball as you're dribbling it.
Jim Clary looking on. His team up by 4, 39-35. 31.9 left here in the third quarter as we head into the fourth now.
And now you wonder if Troy will hold on to the ball for the last half minute of this quarter.
I don't know. I think if Feldkamp has a shot, he might take it. They're up by 4.
And now that you're letting it, well, now that it's down to 15, about the 10-second mark, you start going for it just in case you miss and you get a rebound.
Yeah, here we go. Krupitzer waiting. He's got Feldkamp. Feldkamp's been hot. Here's Dukes. Dukes won't get the bounce. And clock will run out here in the third quarter. So Troy lets the clock run out.
And they didn't get the basket, but they got a good shot off. That's really all you're trying to accomplish there. And they maintain a 4-point lead. And you got to figure if they keep their guards rested, get them in and hold on to this lead and keep Jarrett Stevens from making those big plays, they might pull off the upset.
Let's go down to Don McNeil.
Look, whoever that man is opposite, start opposite Jared. Jared, he starts opposite you there. Flash through. Right in here. Flash through. Get him coming in. Go well with him. Step up shot. Look straight in for the flash man. Get the flash, give him up fake, go around. Up step on test, man. All right, now we got to be able to beat. Got to be able to pressure, man. Let's go. Get him up 3, 1, 2, 3.
Don McNeil and the Ferndale Eagles heading into the fourth quarter, and it's nothing different than what we've been trying to see here. I think they've been trying to go underneath to Stevens all game long.
Yeah, and keep mentioning Dukes, he's only got 2 points, but he's played a great game. Stevens has gotten his points, got a couple putbacks, maybe 1 or 2 turnaround jumpers. He had the one thunderous dunk when Dukes wasn't on him. They were able to get him away. Other than that, they went back to him after that with Dukes all over him, and all he got was an offensive foul.
Yep. So let's see, here we go, fourth quarter, the SMA title on the line.
And Dukes is not in there right now, so they probably will look to go to Stevens, but, well, they turn it over instead.
Krupitzer comes up with it, going coast to coast, off the glass, too hard, rebound, Hoppy. He'll push it up court, Watkins working on Kyle Rance, the ball loose, and finally the Colts come up with it.
And he had Stevens underneath. If he would have held up, he probably could have gotten himself in position, but instead he went for the quick jump shot. Now Troy's going to call a timeout.
This is the first timeout we've seen tonight, just to let you know how things have been going, pretty fast-paced. And it's 39-35, a 4-point game with 7:25 left here in the fourth quarter.
Oh, the big thing for Troy now is they got to say, look, we've got a 4-point lead. We had it up to 8. Let's just keep doing what we've been doing, but don't let them get back in the game.
And let's see if we can hear Jim Clary down there. A little too loud down there on the Troy side.
Yeah,
and
I hope his players hear him better than we do.
But I'm sure they are. They've got a 4-point lead right now. Very slim when it comes to games like this. But it's always a great contest between the Eagles and the Colts whenever we do these two teams, and now especially. And don't forget to tune in coming up next, the Roadshow video program with Bubba on the left and Pat on the right, and they're in Brown City, down on the farm.
Still in Brown City.
Still in Brown City. They're trapped. We've got to get them out of there.
Wow, send them bus fare.
And we are underway now in the fourth quarter again, 7:20 left. Aaron Smith down to Krupitzer in the corner. Goes back out to Cheek. And now Smith again. Smith looks for someone open. Finally, Cheek comes out to help him, and a foul.
Well, the Ferndale defense, every single Ferndale player is playing in-your-face defense, and you get those kind of fouls like Schaffner just did, just because you're hustling so much. Those aren't real bad fouls.
Schaffner goes out. Phillips comes back in. Rashad Phillips with 12 points, leading the way for the Eagles. As we start the fourth quarter now, he had 4 in the third. Smith guarded closely by Phillips.
Well, Troy trying to spread it out a little bit, going with a bit of a 1-4 offense. And able to draw the foul on Phillips as Smith tried to take him off the dribble.
Not much of a foul, but a foul nonetheless. I believe that's his first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Phillips in good shape. Team 5th. So both teams really with 5 team fouls. So they're in okay position. But I'm sure that's going to tighten up as we get close to the 0 mark.
Well, and when you're playing the kind of defense that they're playing, there's going to be fouls committed.
There we go. Almost had one there. Krupitzer comes up with it. He looks for something, makes it himself, and that had to force a shot that he didn't want, probably. Phillips open. Stevenson getting in his way. Rance. Kyle Rance was right there and made him hesitate.
Well, you know, Stevens' eyes probably got big. They got the fast break. Dukes is not on the floor, and he gets the ball right here. And Rance got in his way just enough, and yeah, he fouled him, but Jarrett Stevens took about 3 steps before he fouled him, so the travel has to be called.
Here we go, Troy Colts now. Cheek, off the glass, no, he couldn't get it to the glass. Off the rim, pass across to Hermes, who's back in there now.
That's good.
Looks for something inside, looks cross court to Hoppy. Hoppy now, can get it back out up top. And again, cross court back to Hermes. Phillips wants it. He wants to set something up. He wants Hoppy back out. And now they're going to set up the play.
They got Stevens underneath. There it is.
There it is. That's the play they wanted. And a little too high.
Yep, Rance took his eye off, and they went into a bit of a zone, but you always have to be aware of Jarrett Stevens.
Yep, that's a play we saw on the chalkboard. They finally got a chance to run that.
Good pass, and that's a dunk.
Colts up by 4, 39-35. We have not seen much scoring.
Good up fake.
And a foul underneath. The Colts get a
Is that
chance.
on Stevens, I believe.
Let's take a look. Yeah, it is.
Let's see.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Freilich with the pump fake. Draws Stevens, should be his 3rd foul, and now they're going to bring Dukes into the game.
Yep. Maybe even try to draw another one out of him.
Yeah, and at least deny him the ball.
Rance goes out, and now let's see what happens. Yep, he's coming out.
They're gonna, yeah, he hasn't rested yet today.
No.
Let him sit for about a minute. He'll be right back in, but let him catch a little bit of wind. And
Aaron
use it for
Hamil
those last,
in. Let's
3
take a
or
look.
4 minutes.
Let's take a look. Just
Well, here,
missed
Hoppy
this.
throws the pass just a little too high. You see, if it's a good pass, there's no way they could have stopped that.
Yeah. Colts
That
to
might-
inbound. They've got to get it in. They finally do. Feldkamp.
Just the fact that that pass could have worked is probably what got Dukes back into the game.
And Aaron Hamil comes in, number 34. Dukes back out, kicks it out there for Krupitzer. Into Dukes. Dukes turn around, and he's got it.
You know, conversely, we talked about Stevens taking advantage of the situation when Dukes isn't in there. Well, Dukes knows he doesn't have Jarrett Stevens on him, so you go to him and let him hit the turnaround jump shot.
Yeah, he was head and shoulders above everybody else out there on that one. Phillips, as we are now under 5, and we've only seen 2 points here in the fourth quarter. Phillips in the corner. Hermes, and now we got a foul on Cheek.
Yeah, that was right in front of us, but at least you mentioned earlier, a good thing to see Hermes back in the game. He took that bad spill earlier. There he kept himself from going out of bounds, and Cheek got the reach-in foul. That's his 4th. They can't afford to lose him. He's going to sit right now as Kaminskas comes in, and Jarrett Stevens is going to come in as well. As his minute, he didn't even get a full minute of rest there, but probably just enough to catch his wind. He's aware he's got 3 fouls, can't commit any more.
Watkins checks out. Phillips, no. Rebound, Troy wanted it, look at Phillips.
It's that little guy, you know, he just sneaks in and takes it from you. Dukes had the rebound, and when he pulled it down to his waist, Phillips was there and took it from him.
I'll tell you, I really like that guy. He's just a spark plug in there for the Eagles. Look at this, Feldkamp. No, can't get it to roll. Hoppy with a rebound. And here comes Phillips, Rashad Phillips. Stevens, off his fingertips. And
then it went off
it'll
Kaminskas.
still be Eagle ball.
Kaminskas hit it after that. You know, it's been a low-scoring quarter, but unlike other low-scoring quarters where it's just because of sloppy play and poor offense, this is just great defense. And actually, they're getting good shots. They're just not getting them to fall. You know, Feldkamp's shot, that's got as good a chance of going as anything that just rimmed out. Both teams are just hustling so much, they're denying each other good shots.
Hermes for three, short.
That probably wasn't a good shot that time, but
he was open.
Yeah.
That's his shot, really, that three-pointer. Here's Feldkamp. Phillips with the steal. Rashad Phillips, no, won't get it to go, and a foul coming up.
I'm kind of surprised that there wasn't a foul called on Feldkamp. He reached in and looked like he tried to commit the foul, and Phillips landed real hard after the non-call, but they came back with a foul call after that. And he probably turned an ankle. We'll have to see. You see him reach in and make the steal from Feldkamp and go in for the layup. And Feldkamp just doing the smart thing. You mentioned earlier, don't give him the easy layup. Goes in, swipes at the ball. Might not have actually touched him. I think he landed funny on his ankle.
Yeah.
But then they did call the foul on the rebound. And that's going to get, I believe, the 1-on-1 situation for Ferndale already.
Yeah.
Let's see Andre Watkins coming back into the game for the Eagles. We'll see Aaron DeMille at the line. Haven't seen him in the game yet.
He just checked in when Stevens went out earlier.
And Chad Phillips is going to sit down for a quick breather. Nobody's checking anything with him, so he probably wasn't hurt real bad.
Mill makes them both. And it's a 41-39 game.
And just as quickly as he makes him, he goes and sits down, and Dwayne Jones comes into the game.
Dwayne Jones checks back in, so it's Hermes, Hoppy, Stevens, Watkins, and Jones in there for the Eagles. A taller lineup than they normally have.
Sort of a mini press there. It doesn't work, and now they've got a numbers advantage again.
Rupert's in the corner, back to Feldkamp, who was open momentarily. Now Cheek open on the baseline, short. Stevens with the rebound, nobody's touching him now. And the Eagles bring it up. Hermes now will have to set it up with Phillips out of there. Phillips really upset that he's out. He wants to be in there.
Yeah, he'll be in about a minute, if that.
Inside. Jones, no, too hard. Stevens to tap it in, nobody else there.
Yeah, Stevens got himself inside, and once he's got the position, not much you can do to prevent him from eventually getting that shot to fall.
All tied up, 41-41. Under 3 minutes left. Loose ball. Rupitzer gets it knocked away by Watkins. Hermes, one-on-one, and he'll slow it down now. Don McNeil made sure he did.
Once again, just tremendous defense. First Stevens with the block shot, and then Watkins.
The battle for the SMA, and things starting to tighten up now. All tied up. 2:30 left in the game. Hermes to make a move. Inside, Stevens.
Oh, well, Stevens got away with
And a jump ball call underneath as Dukes knocked it away.
And the arrow's going.
Get it.
Arrow's going Troy's way. And Troy's going to call a timeout, but take a look at Stevens. He finally posts up Dukes. First time all day he's done it. Turns around, puts the elbow into Freilich, although Freilich acted a little bit. But Dukes came from behind, and once they both had possession, the ref made probably not necessarily the right call or wrong call, just the fair call. Something happened, you got to call a held ball situation.
Well, a timeout down on the court, all tied up. 2:23 left in the game. Let's go down to the huddle if we can.
No. 100 on the ball. Don't show it when you want to throw it. And when you get the ball out of bounds, then run run to it. Run to it. We're going 1 to 4. 1 to 4. When we get that ball right down here, look. We're going to set up. Now watch this on offense. We're going to set up like this. Look, Garrett. We're going to set up 1-3-1. 1-3-1, so we adjust 1-3-1.
Don McNeil setting up another play there, and we really couldn't see, but looked like a similar setup play. They want to get underneath to Stevens again.
Well, that's an easy one to assume, I think.
And I am doing that. I am assuming that's what they want to do. Couldn't really see.
I'm just surprised they didn't send Rashad Phillips back into the game yet.
They could have been setting up this defense, and it's creating a mess. Colts on the out-of-bounds line, and that'll give the ball over to the Eagles.
Yeah, Dukes did a great job of coming up with the ball, but he was stepping out of bounds as he touched it. As you'll see right here, and Rashad Phillips is coming back into the game along with Greg Feldkamp coming in for Troy. And there you see Dukes makes the steal, but he is touching the out-of-bounds line. Nothing you can do about that.
So Phillips back in there, and the Eagles with their normal offense in there now. Phillips setting it up. Hermes in the corner, back and forth.
Stevens trying to post up Dukes, and they're not going to let him.
Stevens inside, makes his move.
Okay, so
what a move!
That's the problem. They've been posting up on the right side of the key. They take him to the left, and he gets the ball and took him baseline.
43-41, Ferndale with the lead, and they haven't had the lead in a long time.
Oh, Phillips committed the foul, and the ref's calling it a shooting call.
We'll go to the line
That
now.
should be Freilich.
And a chance to tie it up. Freilich, a good free throw shooter. Let's take a look.
You see him just coming inside.
Yeah.
Great call. That's only the second foul on Phillips.
1:42 left in the game. Phillips, or Freilich, excuse me, with a chance now to tie it up. He's halfway there.
Hit the first, and free throws had been a problem for Troy early in the year. And so far, really, both teams have been doing well at the line tonight.
Misses the second. It's a one-point game, 43-42. Ferndale up by 1. And they can take their time, as Phillips does. And he's got his hand on his shoulder, on his hip, rather.
Again, both teams in the bonus situation, so all fouls are going to mean trips to the foul line.
Hermes almost lost it. Jones in the corner trying to get it over to Stevens, and then goes cross-court to Hoppy.
Well, Freilich and Dukes both trying to deny Stevens' ball. Now he's got Freilich on him.
Look at Phillips.
He traveled.
And a traveling call.
Yeah, he tried to beat him off the dribble, came inside. Dukes bothered him enough that he held the ball and just wasn't able to regain control of it without traveling.
Now the press put on by Ferndale. They get it into Feldkamp to Krupitzer, back over to Freilich, and now Feldkamp. They get it across. And now the Colts will set up. Under 1 minute left. Feldkamp sets it up. They're down by 1. They're looking possibly for the last shot here, can they?
I don't think they'll wait that long.
Nope. They go now. It's denied by Stevens. And here comes Jones with a slam.
Great defense by Jarrett Stevens. That's a big gamble, too. He's got 3 fouls. They don't want to send him to the line, and he just put it right back in his face.
And a whistle.
That's a timeout. Troy called timeout. They're down 3. They've got to set up not necessarily, they don't have to set up a 3-point shot, but they know they're in trouble right now. And that was, once again, Jarrett Stevens just came up big when he really had to. Made a huge block, and it got Dwayne Jones the easy dunk.
Well, the Troy Colts forcing the shot. Krupitzer has been taking these shots, too. Yeah. Off balance and in the paint, and they really haven't been falling for him, but they try to do it again.
That's a clean block, too. He got all ball, and Jones was quick to release right after the block and got the easy dunk.
Stevens with the big slam made it happen, and Dwayne Jones with the exclamation point.
You know, that's what, you know, when you got a superstar player like that, yeah, you know, he's supposed to score the points and get the rebounds, but a lot of other times you got to do those little things. I always hear, you know, Bill Laimbeer always did the little things. Make the block shot and get somebody else the shot if you're not able to get it. A couple seconds ago, he did make a huge layup, finally posting Dukes up after he tried all night to do it. There he came up with the big defensive play. And you got to figure Troy, in all likelihood, will look for an open three-pointer, but if they can get a quick layup, they'll go ahead and take that, cut it to a one-point lead, and then you start fouling people. But there's only 31.5 seconds left. They don't have a whole lot of time. There's not a whole lot of possessions left.
Ferndale won the contest a month ago, and the only loss the Troy Colts have in the conference. Stevens and Jones, they teamed up for a big bucket for the Eagles. They're up by 3, 45-42. Which is something the Eagles have been trailing most of the game.
Oh, he's got Krupitz. He had Krupitz open for a three-pointer. He wanted the ball, and they just weren't able to get it to him.
Feldkamp to Krupitzer for 3. Off. Dukes loses it. Back out. They got to get something here. Another 3. No. And a foul.
Yep.
Eagles ball.
On the offensive rebound, they called that one on Cheek, so he fouled out. And Ferndale will be at the line with the 1-and-1. Have to make this. Here you see Freilich couldn't find anybody open, so he forced up the three-pointer. Almost got it to go, but then Cheek went over the back, fouled Hermes. He'll be at the line shooting the 1-and-1. Troy's going to call a timeout right now. And right now, all Troy can do is hope that he misses the front end of the 1-and-1.
Yeah, he makes this, and it's pretty much over for the Troy Colts. And the Ferndale Eagles did it when they had to, came up big with that big block, and that's what got them here in this 3-point lead with 10.7 seconds left. And let's see if we can go down to the cold huddle.
Well, that's, nice talking about if they make the first one, we'll do this and that. If they make the first one, the game's over, unless a miracle happens. And if Ferndale, in fact, wins, then both teams, assuming they win out the rest of the year, technically tie for the SMA title, but with Ferndale winning it twice, you know which team really claims the league championship. And as we know, with the big mega conference next year, it's the last ever SMA championship.
So some claim to fame there for the Ferndale Eagles. And Amar Hermes can wrap it up here with one of these. That's it.
Yeah.
He's a great outside shooter, and you expect him to make a free throw, but these things get tough with all this pressure on you.
Yeah, remember, this guy was laid out in the middle of the floor in the third quarter.
And that's his first point of the game. Make that 2 now, and that's it.
Yeah.
The Ferndale Eagles do it. Krupitzer in the corner. This is academic now. He gets a 3, though.
They don't have to inbound the ball, and they won't.
And they won't. And that'll do it. The Ferndale Eagles, SMA champions, as they defeat the Troy Colts twice, and the toughest coming here on the home court of the Troy Colts. And Don McNeil coming up big.
Oh, yeah. In all likelihood, SMA champions, unless, of course, they lose next week, which they're not supposed to do.
That's right. Excuse me.
And Troy technically can be co-champs, but when the Ferndale guys and the Troy guys see each other this summer, you know which team's going to be doing all the talking.
They beat you twice.
Yeah. Here's your co-championship.
Troy Colts go off, and there you have the champions right there. And what an effort they put forth. They were battling all night long. They really never had a lead to speak of.
No.
It was the Troy Colts leading by 2 or 4, and back and forth.
8 at one point.
8 at one point, and Jim Clary, his lead dwindled, and A big block by Jarrett Stevens did it. The slam really fired him up.
Oh, yeah.
Earlier, and that kind of brought them back because they were trailing by 8 at that point, and then that brought them back, and then
the
big
shot.
block,
Oh,
and that pretty much put them up by 3, and that's where it stood.
You know, the dunk's the shot that everyone's going to talk about. The biggest play Jarrett Stevens made all night was the block that got that guy, Dwayne Jones, the dunk that sealed the game. And Ferndale ends up winning by 2 because of the three-pointer at the buzzer, but that 5-point lead after Hermes's 2 foul shots, I'm pretty sure was the biggest lead they had all night.
Yeah,
you know, man,
definitely.
Just like last time, the game went back and forth.
That was it. Dwayne Stevens, the big block, and that pretty much put the icing on the cake. The feed to Dwayne Jones, excuse me, Jarrett Stevens. I said Dwayne Stevens, Jarrett Stevens to Dwayne Jones, and that did it. The final score here at Troy, Don McNeil looking on number 1, and he is 47-45. The Ferndale Eagles with the big victory here at Troy High School. We'll be back to wrap things up here at Troy High right after these messages. Stay with us.
If you wish a video cassette of TCI Sports, the cost is $25. Send a check payable to TCI, along with your name, address, and the names of the teams that played in the game, to TCI Sports Videotapes, 4500 Delamere Boulevard, Royal Oak, Michigan, 48073. Remember to tell us which game you wish to receive. And thank you for watching TCI Sports. McDonald, because Pat and Bubba take you down on the farm on the latest edition of Roadshow Video. Watch as these two city slickers travel to a working dairy farm in Brown City, Michigan, and talk to the people that make it work. So, for the best in music videos, check out the farm edition of Roadshow Video. Saturday night at 9 on Channel 63.
The final score here at Troy High School, the Ferndale Eagles 47 and the Troy Colts 45. Now, again, we said they are the SMA champs. Well, they've beaten Troy twice, and they do have one more game left, so we could have a little egg on our face, but I'll tell you, it shouldn't happen, should it?
You don't expect the team to blow it after that, although if ever a team is ripe for an upset, it's a team that just had an emotional victory, a huge victory. Andover is their next game. There's no way they will lose to Andover. There's just absolutely
okay, so
no way.
You heard it from Joe, and that's why.
Berkeley, though, at Berkeley, their last game next Friday, maybe, potentially.
Yeah.
That's the one that if you think maybe they could be a little flat or something, that you look for that, and that's what Troy's hoping for.
Okay, so then there could be co-champs. We just want to get that straight. Here you go, field goals. And the percentages kind of even out at the end of this game, 35% to 34%. Free throws, you can see Ferndale had quite a bit from the line, and just a little bit better than Troy did, too. Troy only going there 6 times. 86% for Ferndale, so that really gave them an edge.
Well, that's just because Ferndale goes inside.
Yeah.
You know, you send it inside, you're going to get that. Troy was settling for jump shots all day. You're not going to get fouls out there. And Ferndale is the dominant inside team. You look at the rebounding difference, and that, again, tells you that. This is the better team, the stronger team. Troy lived and died with jump shots today.
Yeah, and if you're going to only hit 35%, you're going to die by it, too. So that's the telling tale there for the Troy Colts. They lose it by 2, 47-45. The leading scorers, as we take a look for tonight's game, coming up here, if we can get that on the Colts and the Eagles. Here we go. Rashad Phillips with 14, Jarrett Stevens 11, and on the other side, Kevin Krupitzer had 11, and Cheek and Feldkamp had 9, although Krupitzer had 14. I don't know how that 11 got in there. Krupitzer had 14, and well, Cheek and Feldkamp both with 9.
Feldkamp had all 9 in the first half, and Cheek had all but, I believe, 2 of his in the first half. So those guys were held in check pretty much in the second half.
And the scoring by quarters, pretty even all the way through. And the fourth quarter, really, that's when the champions kind of came up there. 12-6, the Eagles outscored the Colts, and the Colts just came out flat.
Well, they came out flat, and the Ferndale defense caused a lot of that, though. They didn't let them get off any good shots. And they were forcing jump shots. They were taking it inside, getting it blocked by either Jarrett Stevens or Watkins at all every time they went inside. never were able to get off a clean, open jump shot or get themselves any easy layups.
And let's take a look at next week's game. It'll be the Troy Colts again taking on the Kimball Knights. We haven't seen the Knights yet, and that will pretty much do it. After that, it'll be the Kimball Knights taking on the Troy Colts Saturday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here on TCI 63.
That's the one that's the one Troy's hoping matters. They're
Yeah.
hoping that Ferndale blows it somehow so that it matters for them. But,
Yeah.
you know, they don't control their own fate.
So that one could give them a tie with.
Well, no, I could give them the outright title.
You think so? Well, if Berkeley beats them.
Right. Then they could have the outright title.
Okay, it's getting confusing,
I know,
folks.
but
Let's go out on the big play of the game, folks, and you'll be seeing that coming up. The big block by Jarrett Stevens, allowing Dwayne Jones to put the slam and the icing on the cake for the Eagles. A final score, 47-45 for Joe Abramson and our hardworking staff here at TCI Sports. I'm Dave Zorin. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week as the Troy Colts take on the Kimball Knights.